Hey guys, Amber from the Vault here, back with another Fallout 4 settlement tour. Now this time, I have never showed you guys my crowning jewel, my favorite settlement, which is Spectacle Island. It is the one that I keep Sean at, and McCready and I have our house at. Now, based on some of the builds I've been doing lately, this isn't the best build I've ever done. Actually, this is a little bit more similar to my older builds. I'm realizing now maybe I want to rebuild this. I haven't decided yet. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at it anyway. So if you've seen my museum of factions before, I do have another YouTube video on it. I'm going to go ahead and go in there anyway, but if you've seen it before, nothing has changed. Just the same old factions building it was before. So it starts out, we have our nice Children of Adam. And then right across from it, we have the operators display. And of course the training dummies that try to semi-attack you. And then come over here, we have the pack. Obviously these are from the Nuka World DLC. And I still have mixed feelings about that chair. I just think it's really odd to have a living chair. So then up here on the second floor, we're going to go ahead and run into our first Commonwealth display, which is going to be the Minutemen. Now I have multiple copies of the General's uniform. I actually have one back at the castle, I have one here, and then I also have one in my inventory because I used Freemaker. Alright, and then the Disciples. And I tried to include things that you would actually find in their Nuka World settlements as well, where they're living. So up here on the third floor, and if I do a rebuild, this is part of what I'll end up rebuilding. We have the Institute. This is my little Institute area. I didn't make enough for this. I really should have made more. It's a fun idea to have all the different outfits, but I didn't leave enough room for it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and come over here now. The Railroad. Now, the Railroad is alive in my game. The Institute is not. All of these were made on the Freemaker. So I didn't actually steal any of these. I didn't kill anyone for Desdemona's clothes or anything. Same thing with the Brotherhood. Again, these are all made from Freemaker. The Brotherhood is still alive in my game. I actually sided with the Minutemen, so I got to keep the Brotherhood and the Railroad. Alright, so moving upstairs, up to the fourth floor. Since it doesn't really fit in anywhere else, I have the Mechanists. And then I just have basic Nuka World. So this is all of the different outfits I found when I was traveling through Nuka World. And of course Gage's outfit. Gage is dead in my game. I did go ahead and side with the, I guess you could say with the Minutemen. Sided with myself, the slaves. And then up here on the fifth floor, this is my Vault-Tec version. This is kind of the Vault-Tec Museum. Just have some different examples of rooms here. Alright, so that is the Museum of Factions. I'm going to go ahead and run down the stairs real fast. The next one we're going to go into... Oop, I almost missed the stairs there for a second. Next one we're going to go into right over here is the Armory. Now this is kind of the weapons and power armor storage. Again, you can see just big squares. At the time, I was just trying to build. Now, all of these are legendary weapons. That's why they're in here. I only stuck legendary weapons in my armory simply because I just think they're kind of cool showpieces. I don't particularly like the way that I designed this now that I look at it after doing so much settlement building lately, but at the time it was kind of my, like I've said before, my crowning jewel of settlements. It was the one I spent the most time on for sure. Alright, so we're going to go up to the second floor here. You're going to notice I have a lot of legendary weapons. This actually isn't all of them either. I kind of had to give up at one point and stop putting them on walls because it was driving me crazy. Let's see it here. Alright, now here's all the power armors that I found throughout the game. The one that is missing though is the green one, the green Vim one. I think it's Vim Refresh. I can't remember. That's actually missing. And the reason that that one's missing, I'm not sure what I did with it. I think I took the pieces and then buried the frame in the bottom of a sea at one point before I decided to actually start building museums. So I'm going to have to go figure out where I put those pieces. I know I kept them, but I just don't know where I put them. I might be able to recreate them in FreeMaker though. So as you can see here, I have plenty of room for more weapons. I just haven't filled them in yet. So we're going to go ahead and leave the armory. So this is going to be another swirly twirly go down fast. We're going to come back out. And the next area we're going to hit is sort of the workshop space. Now one thing I wanted to show you real quick, so I do have my robot, oh my gosh, I can't remember what this is called now. Basically my robot crafting area right there. I did put in some stairs. Sometimes these are a little slippery. They don't let you actually go through. It drives me a little crazy. So I put those in there. So this is kind of my power armor workshop space. Like I've said, now that I'm looking at this, I've kind of solved these types of problems with the vegetation coming through in my newer settlements. So I may at some point do a rebuild on this one. The rebuild on this one though is going to take quite a while, so that's not going to be in this video. Now this is the his and hers power armor sets, red obviously being McCready's and pink being mine. We don't often use them, it's more just for show. I haven't really touched anything inside of there. And of course Dog Meat and his buddy Ranger just hanging out here. And then this is the Chateau de McCready. It's not that impressive now that I've been doing so many builds, but I do like it still. Probably going to rebuild the house though entirely. I could definitely do a lot more with it nowadays. Basically my goal in making this was just to have kind of a space for us, you know? And a lot of the stuff you see that's fallen on the floor, I did not place anything with OCD Decorator in here at the time. Actually, when I built this, there were no mods for PS4, so everything is just placed in here by hand. So you'll see how everything falls off when you place it all by hand. And as we come into, I do have all of my bobbleheads. So I'm going to go ahead and go upstairs. Here's the workshop, the workroom. We have our various benches. I've done a little bit of decorating on them. And then this is where I sort all of my objects. So different things for me, things that belong to RJ, and then I have the Minutemen. So normally my Minutemen hats and that type of thing are in there. This is all of the armor that I have that is legendary. I don't want to use it on anyone else. I have all the guns and all the melee weapons and everything on me right now. This is actually the trunk I use to put things in that I want to sell. So the first room here is Sean's, and like I said, I'm probably going to do a rebuild on this now that I've been doing so much settlement building. But Sean's room, again, just the different things I've placed, not using OCD Decorator. Now I'm realizing how helpful that would have been back then, especially when things like that happened. You can see how there's a glove in there. Alright, so we're going to come out, and I know that we technically never get Duncan in this game. I really wish we would, but I went ahead and built him a room anyway, because I figure if he ever does come, he'll be here. We'll have a room for him. And then of course, McCready and I's room being the largest, the master bedroom. Now this one does not have doors, you'll notice, like my other builds, because again, I built this before I had mods. I also was having fun when I built this, and you'll see in just a second, I actually built a nursery area, just because I thought it was kind of cool. And as you can see, our entire house is chock full of comics, what a surprise, and magazines. Alright, so that's the main house, that would be our house. We're going to go ahead and leave here. Ooh. And as we leave here, you can see right away my market area. So this is where I have all of my shops. And again, like I've said, I think I want to do a rebuild on this. The more I'm doing this tour, the more I want to rebuild it. So you'll notice, first of all, that all of my shopkeepers are dressed super fancy, because we are a fancy bunch here at Spectacle Island. Now I did a little bit of decorating in the back here. Not a whole lot though. Just added a few things. Oh, that dustpan looks a little odd. Some of the stuff has fallen down. Oh, and you can see Sean there in the background. Again, still don't know why he's blonde in my game. He should have been brunette. I think there was a glitch that happened.
Hey, at least it's
And
honest
then here
work.
we have our trader. Now here is actually where, so I assigned all of the beds in this one, and this is where everyone who works in the market actually sleeps. So I built them a little shack right next to where they work. I find that this is nice because in the mornings when you come in and you transition with time by waiting, sleeping, or sitting, they get to their posts faster, and I like that better. So here we have obviously a guard post, and this is actually that guard's bed. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on this way. Now I haven't done anything with this shack. I actually wish you could get rid of it, but you can't. I might try and see if I can find it clean and smooth so I can get rid of it, but I haven't done that yet. So I have another guard who usually stands here, and again another room. Next we're going to move up to the barracks with the farm. You'll notice I put a lot of defense into this one. This is one of my settlements that often gets attacked. I think it might have something to do with the fact that I have quite a few companions here, plus I have Sean here. I don't know that for sure, obviously, but it seems like it does. So here you can see this is just a dorm room space, and this is for all of the farming.
I'm certain we'll find it soon.
I have quite a few settlers that are farming, but as well as lots of my robots. So obviously you can see Baxter from the vaults here. He does help me out, as does my Protectron here. His name is actually Sean's toy. Alright, so as we're coming down here, we're going to see the original ruined house. I haven't done anything with the original ruined house. I just didn't have a reason. It's kind of horrible the way it's designed. It's really unusable. I tried to install a mod actually on PS4 to rebuild this house, and it froze my game so badly I have actually lost a lot of progress. All of my recent builds I did videos on, I've actually lost because of that one mod, and I hadn't tried to go back to Spectacle Island in a long time, so I didn't realize that it had completely destroyed this settlement, which was pretty heartbreaking because it is the one I chose to live at. So not doing anything with this area right now. I just kind of left these alone. If you'll remember, there used to be a picnic table and stuff here. Alright, and then coming up over here, kind of the workshop space. This is where I have all my power generators. And yes, I actually need 400 power. You'll see why very soon. And of course here I have my ammo. I always am in need of ammo, so this is kind of a big deal for me to have all of those cartridges coming out. And another weapons bench. The only reason that's there is actually because I needed to pull stuff out of my inventory at the time. So this is why I need all the power, and actually I've removed quite a few of these lately. It used to be nothing but a sea of water purifiers. I usually come back here and have, 10,000 water, and I don't need all that water, and I can't sell it. None of the vendors have that much money. So I went in and took out a few. I still left some, though. I'm probably going to take out even more, especially if I do a rebuild. And then just a lot more defense mechanisms. I have a lot of defense around here. Like I said, I seem to get attacked a lot, especially by gunners for some reason here, which I think is kind of fitting considering McCready and I live here, and everybody knows McCready's history with the gunners. If you don't, I don't know why you're playing this game. You're clearly playing it wrong. And I don't know what's going on with these rocks. This recently happened. I'm not really sure. It only seems to be here for some reason. And then the rest of the island I didn't really do anything with. There's a lot of space here. There's almost too much. There's a lot that you can build, but it's kind of difficult on the PS4 because your game tends to kind of freak out and spaz out at a certain point. Unfortunately, it just doesn't have the memory to deal with it. So hopefully that was helpful, guys. I hope that you liked seeing that. It's kind of a fun settlement. I really enjoyed kind of building here, and I'd actually really like to do a rebuild. I think I will be doing a rebuild of this in the future, but for now this is what I'm going to be going with. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this settlement tour. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know that you guys like them, and I'll continue to make more Fallout 4 settlement reviews, tours, and mod reviews. And if there's something that you're interested, something specific you want to see, let me know. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video.